Hey, what's up? Everybody's been anticipating for it, but I doubt none more than I.
What?
Licorice Pizza review. Everyone's been waiting all year for it. I mean, the second it was announced, everybody was dying for it. It's got some controversy, stuff about age gaps and anti-Asian jokes and stuff. It looks like a pizza to me, but we'll see. The tomato sauce and I got the cherry version, just to mix it up a little bit. The cherry and the tomato don't go well together. No, I don't think so. Doesn't do good for your teeth, I'll say that. Nothing pedophilic or anti-Asian here. It's I wouldn't do it again, but if you're interested in how it might be, go for it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Licorice Pizza is a coming-of-age dramedy that takes place in the 70s, featuring these two people and their relationship and journey together. One of them being Gary Valentine, a 15-year-old actor who's also an entrepreneur hustler type, and the other one is Alana Kane, who lives with her parents. She's 28 years old, and she's trying to get her life, future, and career together. Licorice Pizza, the movie, was a lot of fun. It was sweet, charming fun, and it's kind of like a nostalgia throwback upbringing movie for PTA, similar to Dazed and Confused or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Despite all the controversies, which I will get into, there's a lot that's really great about it. So let's talk about that first, shall we? For one, the performances were absolutely incredible. Cooper Hoffman kills it in his debut performance as this flawed but likable kid, and Alana Haim, I think, actually really steals the show here. She does an absolutely wonderful job. I loved everything involved with her. And you meet a lot of quirky characters throughout this film, a lot of short appearances from guys like Benny Safdie, Sean Penn, Tom Waits, and my favorite one, Bradley Cooper, as this unhinged, horny maniac of a hairstylist, John Peters. All these performances were way too brief, but it was more for world building than anything. But yeah, I would have liked more. Especially you, Bradley.
Tell me something, girl.
Cinematography and production design was absolutely spot on fantastic. You never doubt for a second that it takes place in the 70s in the Valley. It doesn't rely on obvious fashion choices or song choices to achieve this either. It was always fun, inventive, and aesthetically pleasing. Something that I also love that a lot of people have been praising is the soundtrack. It is so good. I listened to the soundtrack after the movie. There were some songs I really loved, and there were some songs that I actually didn't care for at all. But in the movie, I absolutely loved it, and that is how you use music. PTA always uses the right music at the right time. Unpopular opinion alert, the Johnny Greenwood track was disappointing. It was okay. I mean, it's not like... it was fine, honestly, whatever. The costumes, the editing, the freaking lighting, it's all great. But there are some problems, and I'd like to get to the negatives and the controversies, because even though PTA is one of the GOATs, this is not his best film. Not by a long shot, actually. I didn't find this movie to be funny all the time. I never actually thought of Paul Thomas Anderson to be like a really funny writer necessarily. And this film has more humor in it than any other Paul Thomas Anderson film has. Here's a scene in the film that kind of captures the sense of humor that this movie has that is just personally not my thing, but it may be for you.
What are you doing?
Say anything.
What are you doing? What are you thinking, huh? I'm Essie. I work for Mom and Dad. I'm perfect. I'm a real estate agent. Alana doesn't have her life together. Alana brings home stupid boyfriends all the time. I knew it. I knew that was what you were thinking. You're always thinking things, you thinker. You thinker. You think things.
Something that got a lot of controversy in this film was the Asian jokes in the film. While I don't think the movie is racist, I do understand the criticism. The controversy surrounds a racist owner of a Japanese restaurant and his Japanese wife, who does not speak English. When Gary Valentine would talk to both of them, the racist owner would translate to his wife, quote unquote, and he would use this horrible, offensive Japanese accent. So while I don't think the joke is on Japanese people and is on the owner, I did think the Japanese characters were used kind of like props just to be the butt of a joke that didn't even contribute to anything, really. And while depiction is not endorsement, and we can't expect movies to have Sunday school lessons in them, it did feel like those old jokes that we always saw in movies where it's supposed to be so offensive that it's funny, but the joke is always more geared towards people who are not of that race being made fun of. I mean, I've heard tons of jokes like that for black people, and there are actually anti-Semitic jokes in this film during the scene where Alana Kane is talking to a Hollywood casting agent, and she says something about Jewish noses being very popular, and it allowed me to laugh at Hollywood and the casting system because it is something that is bigoted and is stupid. But without that commentary, all I would be laughing at is the fact that somebody is anti-Semitic. And I don't think it's funny when somebody is a bigot. There's nothing funny about that because there are people who are bigots, and it negatively affects me pretty badly. But let me know what you guys think about it. And really the only other thing that I was kind of baffled by was the ending and the age gap. I won't spoil the extent of the relationship just yet, but I found the logic to be kind of weird. Licorice Pizza, just like Scott Pilgrim or American Beauty or Lost in Translation, follows an adult, Alana, who forms a relationship with a minor, Gary Valentine, because something is missing in their life. Usually they are not driven, they're stuck in a rut. In this case, Alana is very messy. She doesn't have her adult life under control. She doesn't have a path to go down. Gary, however, is very ambitious and has many things going on for him that is very inspiring and fresh for Alana. This would all be cool if it did not end the way it did. Because spoiler alert, spoilers, 3, 2, 1, Alana kisses Gary and says, "I love you." Not only is she a predator now, but she's also committing to her immaturity. But I guess this was never a movie about somebody becoming perfect. In the words of Alana's sister, who, when Alana asks,
"Do you think it's weird I hang out with Gary and his friends all the time?"
It's whatever you think it is. This movie never says it's good or it's bad. It's just whatever you think it is. But I'm still against a 15-year-old and a 28-year-old with this kind of relationship. Because if I had a 15-year-old child with a relationship with a 28-year-old like this... Look, I loved watching Gary and Alana together. It was just a missed opportunity to explore her grow as an adult. All in all, it's a Paul Thomas Anderson film. You should definitely check it out, support it in theaters, and please let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe, and have a great day.